Hi, welcome to the front yard garden. Today we're going to be going over the dwarf tomato plants and micro dwarf also, and kind of show you how they're doing. We're now getting to the dog days of summer. It's where it really gets hot. We're going to be in the 90s all week long. Stuff's starting to go downhill as far as stuff that can't handle the heat, and tomatoes is one of them. Tomatoes just don't like the heat. I was picking out some stuff. I was picking some tomatoes out in the main garden, and the stink bugs are tearing them up. Also, just different things. There's, the rots and different things are happening. The leaf, all this stuff, the leaf diseases all hitting them. So this is what they look like now. Today is June 3rd, and I planted these out pretty early. I think I started the seeds Martin Luther King's birthday, so January 20th, 21st. And so here they are. This one is called Fuzzy Wuzzy. Now, I did not pick these when you should have picked them, because I've just had so many others. And you can see there's a flea beetle. Now, they are a very pretty tomato. Don't have the best taste in the world. They are pretty productive, because if I would have, this needs to be watered pretty bad, and I haven't watered it. So this way I went ahead and produced all these here. And if you're looking at here, it is a productive tomato. Just doesn't have the flavor. It is very unusual. I know one lady that used to work at the office, I give her one of these tomato plants every year because that's what her granddaughter loves to grow. So anyway, called Fuzzy Wuzzy. Over here, now this is actually the only micro dwarf I grew, and spider mites got on it pretty bad, and I just didn't have time to go fix it. Again, they're dry. That's pretty dry down there. So that's just have not kept up with the water. But look at all these tomatoes. I mean, I didn't pick them like I should have, but that's a lot of tomatoes. And this one is called Laura number 5. It's Laura number 5. Got to water that today. These over here are the micro dwarf, or the dwarf plants. This one here, look it up. It's called Tasmanian Chocolate. I really like it. They did not get as big this year as they have in the past, but that's not a bad size tomato. It's a pretty tomato. There's cut off of it, and I'll taste it. I'm not going to taste this. I already know what. I know it don't have a very good taste. This one I've tasted in the past. I think I tasted in a video this year. But there's what it looks inside. Actually, it is a pretty tomato also. Now, when you do that, you don't want to forget it because you lose your pocket knife. And it's got that typical, tomato taste that many times you don't get in a store. Is it the best tomato I ever tasted? No, but again, you're seeing a pretty fair amount. This is a different one here, but it's not a bad. And this one is being grown in the kiddie pool. The rest of them are growing in kiddie pools. I keep watering the bottom of this, so they've got more water in them. Especially deep down. This over here is called Lucky Swirl. Now, that is a big, some people say pretty, some people say ugly tomato. It is getting eat up with diseases. I will say that diseases over in this part of the yard has really been bad in the past, and I can't really tell you why. Well, I can tell you why. I grow tomatoes here year round. Almost. So that does present problems. It's one of those weird blooms that most people tell you should. Anyway, that's what they look like. I'll cut it later. There is one called Lucky Cross that I grew this year that grew a lot of tomatoes, and they were nice big tomatoes. They were more typical looking tomatoes than this, and it really produced. It's a cross from this one. They knew it was Lucky Swirl, I think, and then the Lucky Cross was they didn't know what it was. So if I got my story right, Greg LaHoulier is the one that put this one together. Then over here, we have the Uluru Ochre. And honestly, this has been my fault. It got a hornworm on it. I could not find it one day, and then we was out for a couple of days, and the hornworm just, hornworm came and tore it up. Hopefully these will go ahead and ripen up. I really want to taste the flavor of this one. But you know, when I came back from the boys' competition, we was gone for 2 days and came back. These things were dry. This here was dry. I filled it up yesterday and it's already low again. Of course, some of that's my dogs. They decided, you know, since there's water there, start drinking out of this thing. Now we're going to walk over on the other side and see the other 4. I do, if you're going to be growing them in grow bags, I do like putting them in the kiddie pools because it does make watering easier for you. As you can see, it's harder to water. I've always found it hard to water your grow bags and know if you're really getting it wet or not. So this is the way you know you got about that much water in the bottom of it. It's still going to aerate the sides really well. So, you know, and that's, I think these are 7.5 gallon. Yeah, these are 7.5 gallon grow bags. They're 10-gallon grow bags over there that the big corn is in. This is one of the smaller ones that we got at the kiddie pools. Got it from Walmart. So this one here is Velvet Night, and I want to taste it too. It's not a very big one. Again, it got eat up with, I don't know if it's getting eat up by this late blight, I think it is, because it's the area it's in, or is it because we got the water in the bottom of it. I do have a banana spider down there. So I can show some, because I know Cece and Nicole just love spiders, and there's one right there, getting all my bugs. And I'm learning one thing, I need to sharpen my knife. Again, looks pretty on the inside. This is more tart than the other one. I mean, I'm not real good at tasting tomatoes. I can tell you a bad one. And that one's okay. Not as good at tasting, I think, as Tasmanian chocolate. This one here is Eagle Smiley. And it's the only one I'm growing that is a cherry tomato. You see, it's pretty small, still productive, still putting on. I got these little clips to keep them hooked up to the, okay. Got little clips hooked to the stakes. And it's got your typical sweet cherry taste to it. The skin's a little thick, but you know, it's a good one. You know, it's better than some. It's not a bland tasting one, so you know, it's good. Then over here, and I'll be honest with you on this one I think it is. This is called Franklin County. I bought this for one reason only. Well, first off, I bought it because I was looking through Victory Seed Company, and it just ain't that cute little tomato. And they show all these tomatoes, and they're so cute. Now that one's bad. You know, you can use it for seeds. Got another one here. And this, by the way, that's a stink bug. But you know, that's as big as they get. There's some of the green ones. Fairly productive. It's got some stuff on it. Here it's got a little bit of blossom end rot. So you see that, go ahead and pick them off. They're not gonna be any good. And honestly, it's probably because of lack of calcium. Normally that's not the case, but when you're growing in containers, a lot of times it can be lack of calcium because there ain't no calcium in. I don't believe there's any calcium inside the, when you fertilize, I'm fertilized with Miracle Grows, there's not any calcium in it. Just looks like a typical tomato inside. I did cut it weird. A classic tomato taste. One thing I know to tell you. I'll leave this for my wife. And then this one over here, it's called Bendigo Moon. And I'm not sure there's one ripe on here yet. Again, that's more of the Franklin County. Actually, I just totally did that just because of tomatoes. I will say that Indigo Moon don't have a lot of fruit on it. And some of the fruit, normally small fruits like that, you don't get blossom end rot on, but this one did. So you got one on that one. It also got disease. And like I say, I don't know if this water is making disease worse or not. I'm gonna try this one. I don't know how to, you know, sometimes you just look forward to tasting a good old tomato, and other times just like this, but we give it a chance. Yeah, it's yellow. And sour. Yeah, I don't like that one. But it's got a tart taste to it. I don't really taste much of tomato. I don't taste that classic tomato taste. Since we're here, well, one time I will, so this here is the Aprium, Trilight Aprium, and it is just starting to make, but it's not quite. And then you see that there is rotten. And that is what's hard to grow stuff in this area, because it gets that on it. I'm going to try to cut around it. I'll give her a fresh one. And we'll see if I can do a taste test with this also. That's not good. In fact, I'd say that's very bad. But, see if I can get that. So the way I'm looking at it, I knock all these off with the peach, with the, you know, this is basically a peach. You can knock all this stuff off of it. The bad part's down there. Now, I've said this a lot of times. The only thing worse than biting into a peach and finding a worm is biting into a peach and finding half a worm. So let's hope that I do not find half a worm. It's got a really good taste to it. It's very sweet. It's not quite ripe. If it would win another day, ants would got it. Also, it would taste a lot better. And it's not just, I have tasted this before. It's grown a couple of them before, and it was just all sugar. This actually tastes pretty good. You don't hear me crunch this bad. It's got really good flavor to it, especially if you like sweet. I think it quite has complexity. Some of the other really good ones have, but it's not tart, but it does have a lot of sweetness to it. Yep, I like it. Over here's the corn. This is my sweet corn, and I got to put some more water in it today. And this is my, I'm hoping that this is already all the pollen's off of this one, because this is starting to start some shucks. But I did add some more fertilizer to it. Hey, some more fertilizer again. Just trying to make sure it's got plenty of fertilizer and it grows good. So, but anyway, this is kind of the rest of these kiddie pool. So, if y'all have any questions about the kiddie pool, you know, any of this stuff, any question about where I got the seed, any questions about how deep you want these things or what I've learned from them, you know, just put it in the comments, or any suggestions. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.